Good morning, day 3 of the road trip. We have 440 miles to go to get back to Nashville. We're starting the day with 87% charge. It is a little cold, 37 degrees. So in order to just boost that battery a little bit, I'm going to plug in here whilst I go find a coffee. From here, we're going to go direct to the Rivian factory, see if we can get some nice photos with the sun coming up, maybe throw up the drone if there's no police around, even though we would be legal to do it. But, you know, I don't want to have those conversations this morning. So, little boost to the battery and we'll be on our way. I wish I could insert some like artisanal slow motion coffee shots here, Peter McKinnon-esque, but let's be realistic. It's a road trip. There's a Starbucks connected to my hotel, and that's where I'm going. I think I just discovered I have a coffee problem. Went to Starbucks and ordered 2 coffees, and then realized it was just me. So I have one for me and one for the road. We're up to 92% charged. The last supercharger, just $2 just to top up there. Let's head to the Rivian factory and then start our 440-mile drive home. So just arrived in Effingham, Illinois at the supercharger. Got here with 22% charge, which is about on target for what it said. We were actually drafting a truck for a long way. Unintentionally, we were just doing the same speed, which worked out kind of nice. 22%. Right now, we're at a divergent point between the Tesla navigation and a better route planner. I'm going to plug the car in and then work out where to stop next. So this is a good example of where a better route planner kicks in and does a better job than the Tesla navigation. Right now, Tesla want us to charge for 45 minutes, which takes us up to about 48 minutes total. Currently charging at 139 kilowatts at 582 miles per hour, which is cool. But according to a better route planner, they want us to charge up for about 10 minutes to 50%, and then continue on and change, stop at Habstad. Cutaway, Kentucky is a long way away. It's 3 hours from here. But if we go to the Ruffian Way, Indiana supercharger, that's only 2 hours from here. It's 116 miles. So we're gonna stop charging early here. I'll put the Ruffian Way supercharger in here as a stop, and that should reroute us. Ruffian Way supercharger. Good job. Good job. Ruffian Way supercharger. Habstad, Indiana supercharger. Okay, a little bit of manual work here. So we're now replanning, and that cuts us down to a 10-minute charge, which is nice. It means we'll arrive at Habstad, Indiana. Habstad? Minus 10% right now, but obviously we're charging. And that should give us a decent run down to the Tesla dealership supercharger in Brentwood, Tennessee, just south of Nashville. So a better route planner does a really good job of minimizing the time that you actually stopped. It really does cut down on those long charges by just replanning you. This, okay, or normally it would add a second stop, so it might get us to go from 10% to 50%, go 100 miles down and then do 20% to 50% again, so that we can optimize our like charging curve. So although it hasn't added an extra stop, it does look like it's going to be more efficient. This is a 150 kilowatt charger, a version 2, but the V3 charger in Habstad, Indiana is a V3. So we'll do a quick splash and dash here, as it were. 10 minutes to charge, and then we'll head 100 miles south and charge up again on a V3. Overall, this reduces the trip time and means we'll arrive about 10 minutes earlier than was originally planned. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. Charged up up to 95%. That should be enough charge to get all the way back to Nashville. 2 hours 44 minutes to go, 179 miles to get to the Brentwood Supercharger, and that's effectively home. There are not any chargers between here and Nashville other than this two, which are like hotel guests or customer onlys. Maybe if we turn on the one. No, with all three selected, there's nothing. It says we have enough charge to go. That shows us arriving in Brentwood with 11% battery. I've left it overcharged by a couple of minutes. Right now we're only getting 80 miles per hour, so it's not really making much of a difference. So we should get underway. Hopefully we'll arrive with around 10% battery. But this is the final leg. Last time to use all of the fun toys on the Model Y here, and to sum up my final thoughts. All right, Kentucky roads, Tennessee roads, they reveal the one weak point of the Model Y. The ride quality is firm. This vehicle has the upgraded wheels, and you definitely feel every bump that you hit. Previously, I think I did a recording, but the audio was off. Going through construction in Kentucky, where every maybe 15 meters there was a raised line of tarmac, man, it gave me a headache. You felt every single new strip of tarmac. I've driven a lot of cars. I've driven cars with air suspension. I've driven cars with very soft suspension, and I've driven cars with very, very firm suspension. The full array. This definitely is on the firmer side. And when you consider that this is meant to be the mass market, this is for like mums and dads to buy across the country, old people, grandparents to drive, the mass market consumer vehicle, like, it's a little on the firm side. Also, oh, there you go. Now that it's stopped, Jesus Christ. Now that it's stopped raining, you hear that full self-driving has come back on. As the rain has picked up from drizzle to light rain, full self-driving has dropped out, and it's just been, navigate on autopilot has dropped out and been unavailable. And I'm not really sure why. I'm going to have to look up the limitations for that. It's drying off now. Hopefully the roads will smooth out, though I say that we're approaching the Tennessee state line, which scares me because the Tennessee roads going up the east side of Nashville were terrible, and I can't imagine coming down the west side is going to be any easier. It's definitely a weak point. Is it a deal breaker? I mean, I don't think so, no. You can do things. The smaller wheels would definitely help. The 19-inch wheels have a larger sidewall, which means the sidewall will compress more, and the ride will thus be softer. You could, in theory, change out the suspension if you really wanted to invest the money. But it's definitely one of those things that leads me to the question of, is a 2022 Model Y the right call, or is a 2019 Model S with the air suspension the better option? I think the only way to solve that, or to answer that question, is to rent a Model S and give it a try. So maybe we'll try and do that next month. Not on another 1,500 mile road trip. This has been awesome, but I don't need to do this again for a while. While we're on the subject, 1,500 miles in 3 days, not crazy pace for miles, but at the same time, I haven't been uncomfortable in the seat. Yes, the bumps are kind of infuriating, especially when you go through a rough area, but the seat is very comfortable. The armrest is the right height for me. I found that if I sit like this, my hand can put enough torque on the steering wheel that I don't get the reminders to touch the steering wheel. But yeah, it's very comfortable. The seat heaters are fantastic. I've had it turned up periodically, and very nice and warm. The fact that you can drag the air conditioning fans around is really neat. I love the fact that that's saved to your driver profile. Oh goodness, there's the Tennessee state line. Brace, brace. So we're down to 65 miles to run to the Brentwood Supercharger. Less than an hour to go at the end of this trip. And other than the ride quality over the last hour or so, I have nothing to complain about. One software thing I'd like to see, I haven't worked out how to trigger it, is I would love there to be a software ability to turn the headlights on as the windshield wipers come on. I think that should be standard. But again, that's personal preference. It would be a small software tweak. This is one thing you might see here. The car is going to start indicating, but it's going to count 7 indicates, 7 flashes of the indicator. And then we'll change lane. That's not very human. 2 or 3 maybe, 7 consistently before it starts the lane change. Well, I love that it decided that this lorry is going too slow and that we should change lane, but there have been times where I think it's confused drivers around us. And then there's the awkward moments where the driver behind flashes you to say, yeah, go on into this gap, and you have to go through the full count of 7. We didn't even end up overtaking, but it's going to change lanes again for us. Not the car's fault, the 18-wheeler up ahead accelerated. Well, we have made it. 1,500 miles, 3 days, Nashville to Detroit, just to the south of Chicago, all the way down to Normal, Illinois, to the Rivian factory, and back to Nashville. This car has been amazing. Other than that ride quality issue, which, you know, I don't think you can get around, it's something you have to learn to live with, I think. It's been phenomenal. Like, I have no complaints about it at all. Let's try and... Ooh, these... Oh, God. Well, I'm not a fan of the drive-in Tesla superchargers. And we are in. Huzzah, great success. This is going to be the end of this road trip. I hope you've enjoyed it and give you some insight to what it's actually like to take a Tesla or a Model Y specifically on these long tours. Lots of good stuff has come out of this. If you enjoyed this supercharged road trip, please consider subscribing. A like and a comment would also be appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Well, amazingly, we've got all the way around the supercharged network without any issues. Or we had the one issue where we had to move stations, but it was still charging, just charging slowly. Now that we're at the Tesla dealership, or the Tesla sales center, whatever they call them, oh, now it's starting to charge. Okay, it sat there for a good 3 minutes with charging stopped and no interest in charging whatsoever. But it's firing up now. So, I thought I was going to get screwed right at the last moment. Check out this video.